Hi, Bill Jones from Turntastic Wood Designs. Last time I started on a TV console or entertainment center or whatever, and I showed the plans, how I planned it out, and went and got the lumber. This time I actually got a little more done and dressed the lumber up, and I'll show you all that next. As I'm making these panels, I'm gluing them up from wide boards, and I'm using rough cut lumber. When you use rough cut lumber, it's often, almost always, cupped, twisted, warped, all kind of things. So one of the first things you need to do is dress up the lumber and get it flat. Now, ideally, if you had a very wide jointer, you could run one face through the jointer that was that wide, and you'd get a nice flat surface. There's a couple of problems with that. One, if the cup is really pronounced, you're actually taking away quite a bit of material. But more importantly, I don't have a jointer that wide. Actually, not many people do. So I'm going to show you a way to deal with getting your board pretty flat to where you can work with it. First, I joint one edge. It won't necessarily be perpendicular to any other face or parallel to any other face, but it will be straight. I put a witness mark on the board for later reference. Then, putting the straight side of the board against the fence and the highest point of the crown or the cup where the blade is, I rip the board. Now each half of the board is narrow enough to run a face through the jointer and get a flat face. Then I glue the two sides, or the two pieces that I cut in half before, back together using my reference line to line it back up so the grain matches as much as possible. And this gives me a board with a surface flat enough that I can get away with skip planing and have a nice flat board. Using this method, I was able to glue up the panels for the fixed shelves, the vertical dividers, and the sides this week. The sides have a small cutout on the bottom, and I used a jigsaw to cut that out. Well, next I'm going to cut dados in the fixed shelves to accept the vertical dividers. There are a number of ways to cut dados. I'm going to use a router in this case because the piece is large and I find it easier to move a small tool than a large piece of wood. And here are the fixed shelves and the vertical dividers dry fit together with those dados. It's always a good idea to dry fit before you do a glue up. So I'll go ahead and glue this up, get it in the clamps, and that'll be it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video and got something out of it. If you did, please like and share with your friends. If you have any questions about this project or anything you've seen on my channel or anything in my shop, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'd really enjoy hearing from you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. It really helps me out. And as always, thanks for watching.